Watering the plants, watering the plants, watering the plants, watering the plants. I wonder if Batman 98 is going to be good this time. Is Batman still going to be tripping balls? Is Punchline and Harley's fight going to happen again? Who's going to win? Going to be one sexy fight. Rawr. I wonder if he's going to understand the conversation between him and Alfred. Is it really going to open up his mind that Alfred's not there? A lot to think about in this issue. Guess we'll have to read it and find out. Stay tuned. Good evening. Thank you for joining me. This is Scorpio Chronicles, and I am here with another video. This time we're doing a different review. It is on Batman 98. I hope you all got your copies. I hope you all read it, because we're getting ready to head right through this. I've actually already read this. This book was actually very, very inspiring. I really enjoyed this. Of course, we're going to start where in the beginning of the book, where the part where all of the how do you say it, all of the people that are against Batman, I can't think of the name, Catwoman, Penguin, the Riddler, Scarecrow, they're all in their little lair where they're hiding out from the Joker War. They don't want to be a part of the Joker War. They don't want anything to do with it. So that's between the Joker and Batman. So they're actually staying hiding out. And as we see in the first on the first page, Catwoman is actually back to herself. So she's healed from the bullet wound from Punchline, and she's in the lair with the Penguin. And Catwoman is feeling kind of bad that she felt like she's the cause of all of it, and that she was the one that helped the Joker out to get back at Batman. But of course, the Penguin, he's not really doing too much of being, encouraging to her. He's adding to it that she was part of it. But of course, then on the next page, it does go back into where Batman is, where they go back in time when Alfred was alive, and he's actually improving the bat suit. So I'm wondering if this where the suit that we saw back in a couple of issues that Batman didn't remember that he ever finished his suit, because he said the whole suit is going to be a utility belt. He was upgrading the battering, of course. And so I'm wondering if this is the suit that he possibly was working on, or Alfred possibly finished up for him. And of course, they're talking at this time, and you see the Batman is in full gear, and he doesn't have any scrapes and marks, and he's not quite letting go of Alfred, which we all know when it comes to times of death, it's hard to let go of someone that was so close to you, that taught you things of that matter. So I can truly understand where Batman is coming from with that. And so then, of course, it goes on to the very next page where you see that Batman is pretty much still hallucinating. And on the page before that, Alfred offered him some tea, which apparently it was a certain type of tea that Alfred would make for him. And of course, Batman was laying in the lair that was made by Poison Ivy for Harley Quinn and the Joker. And he said, "Tea sounds nice." And of course, Harley says, "Hell no, you've had enough tea. That was enough." So she's trying to get him to come off the hallucinogen that Punchline gave him, that she mixed with the Joker toxin and the Scarecrow. She mixed all of their stuff together to show that hallucinogen that Harley Quinn gave him is pretty much trying to bring him back to life. So they're actually sitting there, and she's not laying there, she's sitting there with him. And all of a sudden, she hears someone comes up behind her. Harley Quinn says, "Pammy," which we know that's Poison Ivy. And lo and behold, it is Punchline. Punchline found him. Punchline, of course, is holding a flamethrower. She always finds a way to have some type of weapon. Got a little Punchline. And of course, Harley Quinn and her joking self turn around and says, punching bag? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Punchline. That's why I love Harley Quinn. She's sarcastic, and that's how I can be sometimes. I used to wear a t-shirt that says sarcasm is a free service that I offer. Gotta love Harley Quinn. But of course, you see that they're currently meeting for this. It's round 2 of the fight that we've been waiting for. But then it goes off from that page and it goes over to where Batman is talking with Alfred, and he's making him this specific type of tea. It's called the Darjeeling blend, so that he leaves up in the left part of their cupboard, and Alfred is telling him to tell him what's going on with the Joker, and Batman is pretty much explaining to him how he's trying to break him. He's has all his money. He's trying to expose him, and he's pretty much just taking over the whole city. And of course, Alfred is listening, Batman is at a point right now where he believes like there's nothing else he could do. And of course, Alfred is in his mental is there, but not actually there to pretty much explain to him that this is his city. He can't take it back over. But it goes over to the fight between Punchline and Harley Quinn. What we've been waiting for. Of course, Punchline starts off with the flamethrower, burning up the lair that Poison Ivy had created for Harley Quinn and Joker. And then with that, Harley Quinn picks up Batman. Of course, she's picking up this big, probably 6 foot, 200, almost 300 some pound man. Harley Quinn is a strong girl. She picks him up and she said, why are you so heavy? And you jump off roofs, for God's sake. So she was thinking he would be a little more lighter than that. So then, of course, Punchline and Harley Quinn then goes into the fight. And then that's where, they meet eye to eye. There is a scene in the book right here where they actually stand face to face. And I think that is a very, very, very nice scene right there between the two. And then, of course, there we go where they literally go into it and start actually fighting each other. And of course, Harley Quinn mentioned how she's tried to cut her throat, and she said that and of course Punchline said that she wouldn't think nothing of it. And then Harley Quinn told her, you thought I'm gonna go soft. She said I went soft on you the first time. This time she's not gonna go as planned. So that was how that whole fight started right there. And of course they're fighting and going at it, and then you see where they're going into this whole conversation. So this is where they go back into, like they did the first fight, they're conversating about their experience with the Joker. Harley Quinn says, do you think you're somebody because you had some kind of idiotic Punchline says, you think you're somebody because you had some kind of idiotic come to God moment after you lost the Joker. Somebody's bought into their own hype. And if Harley says, you don't know what you're talking about, kid. She said, of course I do. Everyone knows how pathetic Harley Quinn is. And of course it goes back to the origin where it shows how Harley Quinn was, she looked like she was an A student and she went to be a therapist, and that's when she met the Joker and she fell in love, and then they started, doing the crazy things that they're doing. And then Punchline goes into it and said, because too many stupid asses to realize that she was just a means to an end. So she believes Harley was just a means to an end. And of course Harley comes back and says, what do you think you are? You're just pretty much another version of Harley Quinn. And then you go to the whole origin with Punchline, which it looks very similar to Harley Quinn. Looks like Punchline was also a very smart A student, and she found out about the Joker, and they ended up the same way the way Harley Quinn did. And so, and then it goes back to where Harley Quinn says, you know, I feel sorry for you, kid. You still don't see we're exactly the same, which is crazy. It shows that within both pages, how they actually, the same pattern, how they met the Joker. It's like the Joker comes in at a certain time when they're weak, and that's how he finds them. So it makes me wonder if Punchline is going to be replaced. Something to think about. Is Joker going to come up with a third girlfriend? The Joker's a little player, as you can see. And then, of course, Harley Quinn goes through it. I thought Mr. J had a heart. You think he has a brain, but he's not doing this for any of the reasons you think he is. He doesn't believe in anything. He's a manipulator. He's manipulating you. You don't get it. You want everyone to be as stupid as you. Then they go back into fighting again. They go back into it. Going back, and of course they go back into a conversation, and then Punchline talks about how the Joker, she believes that they're going to rule the world, they're going to take over, he's going to spread some type of message he has, and it's like, what type of message is the Joker trying to spread besides trying to reveal Batman as Bruce Wayne? And then it goes back to the page where Batman is having another deep conversation with Alfred. Of course, we know Alfred is not there. Alfred was gone some issues ago. But this is something that Bruce Wayne, Batman, needed. He needed closure. And within this page, it's showing where Alfred is speaking some sense into him, pretty much telling him that he's not, he's let go of everyone. He's pushed everyone aside because he's not accepting the fact that he's gone, that Alfred is gone, and how he turned away against each other. So then, of course, Batman's let him know that he can't, this is something that he can't do. And Alfred literally slaps Batman and pretty much let him tell him, you are Batman, which is something that a lot of people have to do to us sometimes. Sometimes you just need that big shake to remind you of who you are. And then that's when Batman begins to like cry a little bit and pretty much tell him he can't do this on his own. And then that's when Alfred tells him, don't. And then next thing you know, Batman comes to. It's like he realized who he is, like the Phoenix Rising. He realized who he is, and he jumps up, and all you see is these wings and big gray letters. I'm Batman. That was the most exciting part of this issue. He is back. He's no longer tripping balls, as they would say in the past couple of issues. He is Batman. So he needed that closure from Alfred. He needed that to reveal who he was. Sometimes you just need someone to help explain and express who you are. And he came to, and he realized who he was. And of course, when he did that, he jumped up and he landed on Punchline. Of course, Harley Quinn says she was glad that he finally came through. She said because she got tired of hearing the sob story. She was about to kill herself. So then you see where Batman actually picks up Punchline and he's carrying her over the shoulder. And looks like he's trying to reactivate his communication system, which, if I'm not mistaken, is called a battery. The irony. So, which I love it. And she's like, and of course Harley Quinn's like, no, you don't. No, you don't have something called the battery. And then the best thing happens after he gets communication. I have to read this. It says, computer, this is Batman. Get me the location of the family. So you know everybody's coming back. I'm hoping that everyone comes back and help defeat the Joker War. And then his eyes glow up and green and he says, I need everyone. So I'm hoping that no one is not getting left behind. I'm hoping that everyone comes back, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, all of them all come back and to help defeat Joker in the Joker War. So this was the issue, and of course it goes back to the lair where Catwoman, the Penguin, the Riddler, and Catwoman pretty much gets fed up, and she pretty much tells them, you all are coming with me. And she asked them, what if I told you I could make you a billionaire? There's Catwoman doing it again. She's bribing again to help out Batman. So I am seriously looking forward to Batman Joker War 99. This is 98. This was an awesome to see Batman come to and to see him be familiar of who he was. He finally got that. I don't know if he finally got the closure, but he's getting the closure that he needs to accept that Alfred is gone. That's kind of hard to accept sometimes, especially when you lose someone that was your rock, pretty much. So I'm hoping that he is going to come to. He's calling the family, so he's getting ready to take Gotham City back. I enjoyed this issue. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope you got your Batman 98. Be prepared for Batman 99 coming soon. That will be all for tonight. There's nothing else. Stay positive. Test negative. Have a blessed night.